is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Country Mac with you here from the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Maybe we can change the channel if we don't mind. I don't need to relive what we went through yesterday here on our golden post-game coverage as Canada fell to the United States in overtime. Yes, here we go. Basketball highlights. Much better, much better. The show is brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online, wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Go pay him a visit, only in Leduc. It is snowing, though, so throw on your headlights. Make sure you can be seen out there. Drive safe. Don't be in a rush, and get some of that sweet, sweet beef jerky. Tell them we sent you. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. You can also reach us via the old email, Connor at sports1440.ca and Brandon at sports1440.ca. Brandon, good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, Connor. I'm doing pretty well. Obviously, still a little disappointed in the final result of yesterday's gold medal game that you and I and Mac were all in here wrapping up on air. But listen, I sat on my couch, watched Sopranos all day, got through like a full season of it, watched the season finale of Night of the Seven Kingdoms before I went to bed last night. And you know what? Today's a new day.
Season finale?
Yeah.
It's already over?
There was only like 5 episodes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It was awesome.
I can just go rush through it now.
Oh, you can just go binge it for sure. And I strongly recommend for anybody else that maybe hasn't quite tuned in over on Crave for us HBO show. But yeah, today's a new day. It's Monday. Moving forward.
I'm curious, like, what did you all do? Because we all were upset by it. There's no denying. We wanted to see Canada beat the United States. I don't think anybody would argue it. What did you do? I'm curious to get past it. Duke watched some fine premium cable programming.
Yeah,
Sopranos is awesome. That's a great way to get through it.
Yeah, my way to counter how I was feeling about Americans was to watch a show about some of the worst Americans you can imagine.
Yeah, but in a lovable fashion.
Oh, for sure.
I went home and I was like, I got to stay off social media. Then I looked at Twitter.
That was my entire premise, was just sit here and watch TV and leave my phone in my bedroom, essentially.
Yeah, I looked at it for a minute. I think less of a few Americans now. And then I just put my phone down and played with the boy because he didn't care. He just wants to be coached around in his little truck. So we did that. Then I went to the in-laws and I was so tired, Duke. I was just a zombie at some point. Didn't have the best sleep Sunday night, trying to get fired up. Went to bed at 9 o'clock last night till about 6. So had a great sleep after. Josh, how about you? How did you heal after the big loss yesterday?
Yeah, so I was talking to Mackenzie about this when she first got here. And yeah, it sucked. I was pretty upset, turned the TV off, but I got over it pretty quick. I think I'm still hurt from the World Series, honestly, that maybe it numbed this.
Fair.
Imagine being an Oilers fan and a Jays fan.
Yeah, well, so I make this joke at Declan's expense all the time, essentially. It's like, he's basically an Oilers fan. He's a Bills fan. He says he's a Reds fan, but he's in Canada, covered the team, and was covering the Jays run. So that sucks. Like, he's just been kicked in the nuts, essentially, for 5 straight years.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a tough run for him. He saw his beloved Jimmy Butler lose a little while ago.
Exactly. So this is a tough beat for those people that exist out there, because they do. And I'm sure there's a couple that listen to this show and are just in agonizing pain.
And it's funny because I will say in my lifetime, I've never seen the Oilers win the Cup, never seen the Jays win the World Series. Got the Raptors, which was a lot of fun. I wish I was a troll on social media more back then and been like, basketball's Canada's game now. Sorry, Americans, because it's so stupid when they say the things they say. Sorry, we won with a team full of Americans, but it's Canada's game now. Dumb.
But what if Canada wins the gold medal at the Summer Olympics in 2028 in Los
basketball?
Angeles? Yeah. They have an MVP on their team.
I'll
now.
host a rager.
I never would have said it before, but you'll see me on social media. Sorry, Americans.
Victory lap.
It's back in Canada. It's home. But very responsible of you to just get through it. Mackenzie, how about you? What did you do to recover from the tough L?
I took a nap because it was a very early morning. And then I stayed off social media almost all day. And then I watched Love is Blind because I was like, I need to see something that'll make me kind of feel good. But then
that show makes you feel good?
No, it didn't make me feel good because some of the dudes on that are man-childs, and all of the women kind of have their lives together and they're like, I'm ready to get married. And then the guys are like, oh, we're getting married on this show? That's crazy. I'm not ready for that.
Don't push them, Mackenzie. They'll be ready when they're ready.
35.
They're ready when they're ready.
Get it together.
Cuts deep.
Ooh.
That was fun about when I got married.
Sorry, dude.
I got time.
I did get married. I wasn't going on reality TV shows, so I guess that's cool. We're slower though. What's the part of our brain? The frontal lobe. It would develop slowly in men, so
sure.
Takes us a while to get it going. But that's a good way to watch it. Some reality TV. Let us know. Lance said I had a nap. Good call. Realtor Dan says drink mimosas all day. Watch golf. Yeah, there's a hole-in-one yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. I forget the guy's name. My apologies. It was the Genesis, whatever. It just northwest of LA. Beautiful out there. Hole-in-one. Yeah, well, let us know if we'll get through this together. EG says, I feel bad for Declan. I'm an Oilers, Cowboys, Yankees fan. All I know is pain due to front office mismanagement. Now, EG, but how old are you? That's my question. Because you've, in all likelihood, seen a Yankees World Series. If you're old enough, you've seen the Cowboys. If you're really old enough, you've seen the Oilers. We have to get your age first, if you'd like to put that in. MTR says, how about Oilers, Jays, Niners, and Canada this decade? 2 Super Bowl losses, 2 Stanley Cups, a World Series, and a gold medal.
Yeah, but he also won a gold medal. I guess that's 12 years ago if we're using a 10-year time frame.
Yeah. Decade of darkness. But honestly, let me just throw it out there. If you were a fan of Vancouver, Canucks stink. Maybe you're a Mariners fan.
Portland stinks.
You just look at Cleveland. It could be worse. You've had some really good runs, which is fun. I say it from afar, man. If the Chargers had 2 Super Bowl losses, I'd be pretty proud of them. But I'd also be have a broken heart. So tough to say. Tough to say for sure. Hot Salsa says I went to church. That was probably a good idea.
Pray for us all.
King of Four Nasty says, good morning, fellas. Yesterday I realized I have half of the U.S. team on my fantasy roster. Shame on me. Kachuk, Boldy, Faber, Eichel. It's all my fault. Yeah, good players. Can't really blame you. Jane Victoria says, it was a rough day. I listened to your station post game. Thank you. Didn't have to go outside in the sun. Still hurt. Jays, Oilers, now this. Thank goodness for the Seahawks. So very sad. That's it. I mean, Edmonton sports fans, for those of you who are Jays fans, it's been a tough stretch. But you've got to see a lot of good sport, a lot of extended seasons while other teams' seasons end. Social media definitely made me hate America even more, Lance says. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, not all of them, because some people are, like, pretty cool. Like, hey, man, good game, guys. Great rivalry. But then there's something like, just take it so far.
Which is part of the reason why I just tried to avoid it as best I could. And also, like, even the ones that you see, whether they be, like, big name personalities that you follow or see on social, or people maybe you personally know even, and excited, like, I wouldn't really take too much of it to heart. It's just, and I said this earlier this morning, it's not fair of me to cast like the net across. Like, that's just the American way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the arrogance, the victory lap, the braggadocious nature. It's just how they do things.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They won. They deserve to. I say win with class. It's like, dude, they won. They can do whatever they want when they win. So because you heard the same things about the Panthers after winning the Stanley Cup, right, with some of their celebrations.
Brad Marchand is Canadian.
People saying it's not very classy, but the likes of Bennett, Marchand, there's no shortage of Canadians, those two Canadian Olympians on that team. So don't take it to heart. It's literally could not be further from being personal. And at best case scenario, just ignore it. If you are the type of person that gets worked up by it, just ignore it.
I didn't really notice Bennett as much. Marchand after was trolling. He
was trolling.
Was Reinhardt? I think he's pretty chill.
Oh, he's a chill guy.
He's 1-2.
He's from like the Kootenays area,
he's from
right?
BC, right?
He's chilling in the valley.
Text lines 1-833-414-1440. EG just followed up with his age, 35. Says, I've seen Yankees, haven't seen Cowboys and Oilers. And said Mac kind of hurt him with her comment about being 35. Well, man, maybe just as a gender, we got to get it together.
Get it together.
Well, maybe we'll watch that show first, and then we'll see. Titan says, I built a shelf. Nice. That was productive. Did anybody go outside and chop down a tree? That's the low tide strategy. Gilly says, I was at a hockey tournament, and an American team was there, parents and kids celebrating. I was enraged. I don't blame you. Just tell them to get out of here. Triple C in a truck. Putting into perspective between the Mexican and Iran news, the loss wasn't so bad. Much more going on. Yeah, crazy day in our world yesterday. And it's just sports at the end of the day. MTR says about my line about, like, you know, and you can tell me how you feel about it. Like, if the Texans went to 2 Super Bowls and lost them both, is it just depression?
Dude, the Texans have never even been to an AFC championship game.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen the Chargers go to one.
I'd be ecstatic. And if they got a Super Bowl, now I do think situation matters. And if we're talking about just whatever sport, whatever team, the expectation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go into a Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup final as clear-cut runaway favorites, which I think if we're talking about the Oilers last 2 years, the Blue Jays this fall, and Team Canada in this game, they were not, right? Canada was favored in the game yesterday, but it was essentially a pick 'em if we're looking at odds. It was a pick 'em game. Jays were dogs. Oilers, I believe, were underdogs in both their series against Florida at the start of the series. When you lose and it's a close, like expected to be close, and it is close, you kind of say you tip your hat and say, so be it. But if you're like a big favorite and you lose, that really hurts.
I mean, like, if you're the Patriots, an honest Patriots fan, you probably saw that coming.
Oh, 100%. Unless you, like you said, unless you disillusioned yourself.
The Oilers pulled an absolute Chargers type thing in the first cup, because it's like fall down by so much in the first half. You should be stressful. It's over. Whatever. We lost. Yeah. So then the Chargers always fight back.
So then the next 3 games are almost kind of like just bonus because you're enjoying it.
But they weren't.
Then you get to game 7 and you say, we've come this far. battle back from down 3-0 and you lose.
I think at game 4 and 5 was like, whatever, who cares? And then going into game 6, where it was like, if they win, we're going back to Florida. Like they could do this. And like when they were, was it Darnell Nurse after feel up the jet? Let's go. Like, you know, I feel like it got stressful at one point. Okay, well, MTRs, shut up. No, no offense, guys. The Niners are different standards. I know, but we're just saying, like, it could be worse. You could be Cleveland. You could be LA, San Diego. You could be Houston.
The Jets.
You could be the Jets.
The goddamn Jets.
You know, at least you got these extended runs. You got to see Christian McCaffrey playing a Super Bowl, Brock Purdy.
And it's still optimistic. Like the team is still going to be competitive next year and the year after that.
I wish we had the same standards. The Chargers, the one time they made it to the AFC Championship, Gates, LT were hurt. And I remember the game ended. I've told you, like, I was proud. I wasn't even mad. Now, Chargers standards are a lot lower than MTRs. But yes, I get what you're saying. It's not optimistic after CMC is half dead. Darcy says, good morning, boys. I think I would feel worse if the U.S. seriously kicked our rear, but they didn't. They got the goal, but they didn't outplay us. I don't feel as bad, I think, is what we got through here. I mean, yeah. And it's so easy to say it now because the way it ended. I think 3-on-3 in overtime for a championship sucks. Like, there's a reason the NHL goes away from it in the playoffs. The Olympics probably don't want this to run on forever, so they took that route.
Yeah,
I don't love it.
They got a closing ceremonies.
Yeah, like I get it, but it takes a little bit of the luster away. Like to win regulation, I think would have meant more. At least in Four Nations, there was a bit of a 5-on-5. It just felt a little bit different, but still credit to the Americans. They won the game. The banners hang forever. Bill says Max Gracerman got the ace. Yeah, there you go. It was a heck of a shot. Very cool. Big deal, he says. Like Dave Portnoy. Hey, man. He lives out loud, doesn't he? And when you do that, I mean, had they lost, he would have heard about it. The way he had to take it when the Patriots lost. And then for his Americans to win, no matter what, he's going to put it out there. But it does suck. Losing is losing. Doesn't matter when you lose. Kenneth, yeah, I know that. That's what I said. They won. They got it.
We're talking about as a fan. Guess what? My life isn't actually at all impacted when Team Canada lose a gold medal game, or the Ducks lose, or the Texans lose. I'm not playing the game. The any attachment I have to it is self-driven.
Mm-hmm.
Create separation. If it's that big of a deal, you might need to prioritize other things.
But we're just saying 3-on-3 sucks.
Yeah.
It's a bad way to decide a championship.
I didn't love it.
Like a shootout would have been interesting. It doesn't matter. They still won. But 3-on-3 kind of sucks. And I would have said that if Canada would have won. But I just would have said it in a more happy tone. Zach says, thoughts on how McDavid must feel now and his response. This definitely hurts his legacy, which is unfortunate. Who's MVP?
For now.
Who's the best player in the tournament? Gold medal game, it was Hellebuck. Sure. Like, there's no way to beat around the bush. He has been to these games and he's lost them. The one he wins, people just disregard it because it was a made-up tournament. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. But it mattered. He stepped up when it mattered and scored a big goal. He's done that in his past. But if Nathan McKinnon scores that goal, like, everything changes. If Devin Taves scores that goal, everything changes. Nothing he would have done differently. Did he make the pass to McKinnon on that? I have to go back and see. But, like, yeah, and then what do you do? Do you see, though, that he's had those performances, knowing that he's a huge reason that all those teams got to that spot? What's like, okay, cool stat. Do we just want to move on from him? You don't bring McDavid next time because he can't win a game? Oh, yeah, we're better off without him. Yeah, Oilers trade him away because you can't win without him. Like, that's just, it is what it is. Hopefully he finds a way to get a championship at some point to kind of change that narrative. I know the defenders have brought up, like, Yzerman. He didn't win till 32 Stanley Cup. Who knows what's going to happen, but man, it'd be good if he could get that monkey off his back, because it keeps popping up. And, at the end of the day, you see the graphic and it is what it is. He has lost in a lot of those big moments. We'll take a break. When we come back, more text 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
The Hockey Super League is proud to launch its 9th season, delivering independent, borderless hockey. This year, over 125 teams will compete across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and for the first time ever, Colorado, USA, with showcase style action, cross-province rivalries, and a strong commitment to player development. The HSL is the premier destination for families seeking balance and athletes chasing the next level. The Hockey Super League. Hockey without limits. For athletes born in 2013 to 2018. Visit hockeysuperleague.com to learn more.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:22. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy. Halley, Douglas, Fenwick, intern, if we're cutting it short, Country Mac, Big Mike, goes by many names in the Sports 1440 studio. You can always reach us. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line, or email Connor at sports1440.ca, Brandon at sports1440.ca. The show brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Oilers back in action on Wednesday, a little California trip. Speck will be making his way down there, but I think he's going to join us on the Gregor show just a little early. I'm telling you, Duke, me and Speck have talked about it before. He said when he's there, it's all business. But I think...
I'm not going on vacation, Connor.
If it was me, I'd be like talking to the bosses at Sportsnet. I need one extra day. I got to do Disneyland. I got to get it out of the way. I got to hit a couple rides, and then I'll be ready to work.
No chance. Even if I was going for an extra day, I'd be like, just go hang out at the beach.
Well, yeah, you could do that too. You could do lots of things.
No.
Maybe go 2 extra days.
Now it is a vacation.
Check out the Chargers facility.
Right.
Take it all in. But California road trip. I'm sure a little bit easier. Now, I mean, you're making that big flight overseas, but you'd rather maybe land in the East Coast, take a little bit of the the jet lag off. It'll be interesting to see. So Oilers play at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. That's 9 o'clock. Wait, sorry. 8 o'clock our time. So that's 4 in the morning, Italy time. So McDavid, I assume Draisaitl Szymanski would have came home just a little bit early. But that's tough. And the sleep science, I'm sure, will help them find a way to get through how when you go to bed on the plane and all that sort of thing to try to make it as easy as possible. But curious to see what McDavid will look like when he returns to the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. This segment brought to you by elksnation.ca, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth EE football coverage you'll find anywhere. Podcasts, video on YouTube, or you can read the articles, elksnation.ca. And Joe Daddy says, hey guys, the loss sucks. But next time Team Canada suits up, whether it's Four Nations or the Olympics, they're going to come in hungrier than before you. The look on their faces tells you everything you need to see. I wouldn't want to be their opponents. Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of time in between, but that, like looking at Macklin Celebrini, that guy looked like that. That's going to fire him up. I'd like to see what he does when he returns to the San Jose Sharks organization, but at just 19 years old, what a tournament he had. And for the hockey fans that maybe don't get a chance to see him too much, like I don't blame you if you're watching in Halifax and those games start 11 at night and you're just looking at the box score. Like, this guy must be pretty good. What a treat to actually get a chance to watch him and what he can do. And he's got an absolutely bright future in this league and then at the international level as well. Titan told us when, to get over his tough day yesterday, he built a shelf. He said he also chopped down the tree to build the shelf. So, attaboy Titan. That's what I'd like to hear. Hot Salsa says, I'd like to know what Chris Cuthbert's line was going to be. In 2010, it was the golden goal. I wonder if he had one planned or just would have gone off the cuff.
I think broadcasters normally try and have at least something sort of tucked away in the back.
Yeah.
From interviews I'd heard with them about, iconic calls and stuff, they have it. If this sort of thing happens, or if they've played it out in their head, maybe in a few different instances. Now, maybe that all goes out the window in the moment and you come up with something off the cuff. I don't know. But it is a fair question because obviously Cuthbert's had some iconic calls. The golden goal, I think, probably topping the list.
I like Duthie's little ramble before puck drop when he passed it over to Cuthbert.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was good. Sign out on James Duthie. Good dude. When TSN shut down in Edmonton, I was walking through the mall randomly one day because I had so much free time. He called me, check in, and just kind of...
It's like, hey, it's the con, man.
Pass a little good advice on going forward. So shout out to James Duthie. Good guy. Text line, 1-833-401-1440. Chris says, as a diehard Jets fan, the thing that hurt the most is where was that from Hellebuck in the last 10 playoffs? Dude literally chokes every year, then finally finds his game when he's in the Chad factory.
Chad factory.
Brads and Chads. No, yeah, that would suck because I think we were all banking on that. Like, hey, we get to the final. It's Hellebuck. What's he going to be like? Well, he was Connor Hellebuck, MVP. Boys, this comes from Hontorio Momes. I rewatched some of the 3-on-3 before they scored. I couldn't even get there again, but it almost seemed like 97, 29, and 8 weren't playing that 3-on-3 like it was the Olympic gold medal. I love McDavid, but to go 1-on-3, I didn't love. Makar made a bad read. McKinnon lost the battle. I mean, the 3-on-3, it's such a game of inches and milliseconds. Like if he knocks that puck the other way, he and McDavid are 2-0 on Hellebuck, right? Obviously, that's a big if. Goes the other way and they score. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to make a play. You're trying to win the game. Mitch Marner, in a sense, went 1-on-3 when he scored the game-winning goal. They closed on him. He scored a big difference, but yeah, I mean, you lose a 3-on-3. You're certainly opening yourselves up to criticism and split second plays, though, right? Phil says, celebrating made the pass to McKinnon. Thank you. Mike says, hey guys, just like in 98, we didn't lose to a better team. We lost to a red hot goalie. Personally, I think the loss to USA in 96 hurt worse.
I'll take your word for it. I was just a wee baby.
I mean, I was 9. I was probably pretty upset. But, yeah. I mean, it happens in hockey. We saw it. We saw it in the tournament. Yeah, a lot of times. Oh, Kyle and Tom both saying they play at 8:30. You know, I didn't actually. I kind of just meant like the 8 o'clock hour. I was very vague with that, but thank you for correcting me. Thank you. So 4:30 in the morning is what it will feel like, not 4:30. Maybe that's when Connor McDavid woke up in Italy. He's a driven human being. I would never be getting up that early, but maybe he was. You think Donovan and Walks will do 2.5 hour pregame shows?
No.
I mean, they miss it so much they haven't done it in a
I
few weeks.
don't think they will do that.
HVAC Nick says, I keep saying this. Colorado is 3-9 in overtime this year and sucks on the power play. We needed boost for those situations. Oh, man. That 5-on-3 power play, Duke, looked not good to me. And I Bush is going to be there in 2030. I would wager a good chunk of money on it. Like, he'll be 30 years old at that point. He'll be there, but I'm listening to HVAC Nick. If you and other people tell me that he should have been there, I think there's a fair reason for that. I will still say that I think Zach Hyman should have been there. Listen, they lost in the gold medal game. They were close, but just to have a little bit of a quicker relationship, not celebrating McDavid were awesome, but if you were to have a guy like Hyman there, slides other guys down, love him as a net front presence for maybe power play too. Anywho, it's done. Gruff said, some things from Italy. All defensemen make just as many mistakes as Bouchard, but not many can shoot or pass like him. I need to watch more San Jose games. Connor's going to win a cup soon, and it's going to be glorious to witness. What a tournament. Hurts, but what a tournament. It was fantastic hockey, Duke. It's going to be tough to go watch. We talked about it yesterday, and I just used like Chicago and Calgary as an example, but to watch some of these games versus what we just saw in Italy, it's going to be slower.
It's going to take some adapting for the players and for us as fans. It's not easy being a sports fan all the time. To get to watch maybe one of the best hockey games we'll ever see in our lifetime yesterday to now, like you said, some mid-February, late February regular season games where there's stuff at stake, and especially talk about this next week and change ahead of the trade deadline. Yeah, it'll definitely look a little bit different for those of us viewing.
NHL trade deadline, March 6th. I'm going to be here in no time. So next week, next Thursday, 1 o'clock.
It's not Friday.
Maybe my computer's weird. It is Friday. You're right. Times are tough. Anyone you think is going to be like a surprising move? Then you always find it. Hey, like we didn't think Matthias Ekholm. That's one that always comes to mind. We didn't think he would be available at the trade deadline a couple of years ago. He was.
There's no specific name. It's maybe more so about what teams are going to do, because there are still so many in the mix, and some of the bottom feeders don't actually have that much to offer. St. Louis is maybe the team I'm most interested in. What do they do?
St. Louis?
Yeah. Well, like they're not really in the playoff hunt. Rumors around Jordan Kyrou, even Rob Thomas, who is a very good player. Like he's a top line center, bona fide in the NHL. Which Justin Falk, Colton Parayko, Binnington, right? Like
Big game Binsey, as you call him.
And it's just they have some pretty hard decisions to make, I think, about some of their more core pieces, I guess you would say, that if they're going to try and go in a new direction, because they've committed themselves to Philip Broberg. He seems to be a big part of their future moving forward, and they've got a lot of good pieces. We just saw Dalibor Dvorsky have a really good Olympics for Slovakia. Can he come back and kind of use that to springboard him into a good final stretch of the regular season? Yeah, I think St. Louis is maybe the team I'm most interested in to see what names actually do get moved. Most likely, we'll probably be left with the regular stuff of one or two guys, no huge splashes, traded for draft picks, stuff like that.
You got Parayko and Broberg on the back end locked up. Cam Fowler as well for the next few seasons. Up front, it's Kyrou, Thomas, and Buchnevich who are with the team through 2030. Binnington's the one I want to bring up, though, because, hand up, I was not a fan of starting him just off what he had done in the regular season. I was leaning toward Logan for the Team Canada goaltender, but Binnington was good. Made a huge save in overtime. The glove save, right? Was that?
Yeah.
That was overtime? Yeah. All blends together. You'd have him this year. you would have him next year for $6 million. I don't know what the price would be, but Duke, I feel like there's a guy right now who just needs a change of scenery.
And I kind of talked about this with Kevin this morning about, would the Oilers be interested? And I'm pretty firmly in the camp that I think, they made their bed. They're going to lay in it now in terms of the move they made to get Tristan Jarry. Now, Kevin proposed, if you were to go to St. Louis and say Tristan Jarry for Jordan Binnington 1-for-1, who says no? No, it's a fair question.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. It's obvious either way, but it just takes me back to is he a tangible upgrade? And would a change of scenery really benefit him that much? Because it's clear, obvious. We've had several different examples of it now that he lives for the big moments, but there's a lot of other moments that aren't as big that you still need him to be a little more rock solid. And how he's played this year and most of his regular season play the past couple seasons is not at that level. So for an Oilers team that still has a lot of regular season hockey to play, couple rounds of the playoffs before you get hypothetically back to a Stanley Cup final where he would be at his quote-unquote best, I just think there's probably a little too much risk.
There is risk. I also do think, we've seen it time and time again where a player goes to a new team that's contending, is rejuvenated, knowing what's to come. I would just say this, that if you gave me the option between Tristan Jarry and Connor Ingram, or, the combination of having Jordan Binnington when the playoffs start, I know where I'm going. I know who I'm a lot more comfortable with.
Okay.
Because Binnington, I wasn't on his side. And I will say there's many times where I'm like, man, that guy needs his butt kicked. Someone's got to fight this guy.
Yeah.
But when the game's big, he raises. And man, do I look nervous? What a cold line that was. He's just, I don't know. I think he'd be an upgrade for me personally once that time comes around. But I do get what you're saying, where there's a lot of games leading up to that. And if, you're getting what we've seen from him so far, I think the questions are fair. HVAC Nick says, take one more guy from the NHL's best power play. I think it would have helped for sure. Instead, we had two guys from the NHL's worst power play. Great 5-on-5 players, but Makar and Nate haven't been great outside of 5-on-5. Well, and the majority of the game played 5-on-5, so obviously you want those guys out there. No name on this one. No, Bouchard would have had no place on Canada. Nobody's putting him on PP1 over Makar. It was all role-based. Also, McKinnon is the one who made a poor play in overtime. He had a bad line on the puck and hesitated. That led to the goal. Would love your name. And I don't think anyone's saying that you'd put Bouchard on PP1, but PP2 would have been okay. There was times where Cooper made that change quickly, and I think he would have been great to have that shot out there. Even with Makar. You can run two defensemen.
Especially when you have a guy that moves as well as Makar.
Yeah,
his fluidity in the offensive zone could lend itself to running a traditional two-man defensive power play unit. I was kind of on the fence, but when it came down to the final decision about Bouchard, once again, if I was picking the team, I wouldn't have him on it. But I absolutely can recognize the merits of him if he would have been on the team. But let's just dial it back. Yes, they did not score on a 5-on-3 power play. They also had two other great looks that weren't on the power play to win the hockey game. So to say that was the difference in the game, it was a difference in a game that they were the better team. They lost by a goal in overtime in sudden death in 3-on-3. That's just where it all comes back to for me, saying I have a hard time diving into this immediate roster criticism and the players that were brought and the ones who were left. This was absolutely a good enough team to win a gold medal.
Yeah,
they were a goal away, and two open net essential misses away from winning it, or at least giving them a lead in some of these spots. So that's where I kind of level off at the criticism of the roster construction.
And I will say the exact same thing, for the women's team. They're right there. We talked about a little bit slow. Could have gone with some younger players. Only even going back to the rivalry series, only had two collegiate players. But at the end of the day, best on best for the tournament, they were an overtime loss away. Things can change that quick. So yeah, I'm with you. I get that they lost, so roster construction will be a debate. And I will say, I think you have to score on a 5-on-3 for 90 seconds with that talent. You got to find a way, at least to get some good opportunities. I don't think they even had a good chance. They missed the net and it was wrapping around, but it's done. It's done. Soon we'll be talking about the Oilers with this passion. DDR says, good show, peeps. Like the fact that you're willing to discuss the Olympics with an objective lens. Best show in 1440. Well, we'll leave this segment with that line. When we come back, more of your text, 1-833-401-1440. Fantasy Frenzy brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you? Who, me? No way. I swear. Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Okay, how about you give us your star winger for a bag of pucks? What if I throw in some Will Hawk beef jerky?
Yourself a trade.
With Will Hawk Beef Jerky on their side, the Alberta teams definitely have an unfair advantage this trade deadline. Pick up some today and use it for trade leverage in your fantasy league.
No way, man. It's way too good.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win trades with salad.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at hughescarwash.com. Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
The weather doesn't care about your shift or your schedule. Carhartt Rain Defender sweatshirts let you battle back against the ever-changing elements. Carhartt's durable, water-repellent technology lets light rain beat up and roll right off. Layer up and stay on the job longer without getting drenched. Get your Carhartt Rain Defender sweatshirts at all three of our Edmonton job site workwear locations.
Job site workwear, tough different job.
Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Tackle the ice and snow with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, delivering the power, control, stability, and grit you need. And when the temperature plummets, you'll cruise in comfort with heated seats and heated steering wheel. All this plus peace of mind with Subaru's top safety pick status for 19 years running. This winter, it's time to get you into a Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca today.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
.11:43. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Country Mac with you here. Text line 1-833-401-1440. Fantasy Frenzy is brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Duke brought it up. I don't know if it was on air or off air, but Kyle Pitts receiving the franchise tag from the Atlanta Falcons. Duke, 15 schmil a year for this 1 year, unless they reach a new deal.
Not bad.
So that puts him as the 5th highest paid tight end behind Kittle, McBride, Kelsey, and Hawkinson. Above Njoku, Andrews, Komet, Ferguson, Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, both Steelers, Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill, both Saints, Dallas Goedert, Evan Ingram, and Dalton Schultz. So I'd say that's pretty good. You said each year he's upped his tight end total or touchdown total by 1.
Unless he might have had 6 this year. But I know he was trending towards 1 in year 1, 2 in year 2, so on and so forth. And now my Football Reference is trying to verify that I'm not a robot.
It does that.
But besides the point, I'm going to try ESPN instead. He's trending upwards. And it just goes back to the same conversation we had from his rookie season. Physically, he should be the best tight end in the league. One of the best players in football. But it was just constantly head scratching about his use in the offense, and then at times even his own play, right? Like drops and stuff. So he's one of the more perplexing players in football. And I think a lot of fantasy fans, I'll say that, or fantasy players, were excited to see him with a new team to maybe have him fully break out.
You're right, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And this was his best yardage year since his rookie season when he had 1,000. Just under that 928 this season. Targets was also back up, career high there. Receptions career high. So it does seem like things are kind of falling into place. And maybe with the, new look down in Atlanta, if we're talking about who's playing quarterback.
I mean, he's a big question
because Penix is not going to be ready for the start of the year, is he?
And from what you hear, it sounds like his knees are pretty bad.
Well, yeah, and this was a topic in the draft, and I kind of defended it to an extent, saying, yeah, he'd had surgery on I think each knee at that point already, but he's still young, well, relatively young, old for a college quarterback. I was a big believer in Michael Penix Jr., and we saw flashes of at the end of his rookie season. Before he got hurt this year, it was much more up and down, right? So wasn't quite as promising. So Falcons got a lot of promising elements, but I'm not sure they're quite ready to take over the NFC South.
Well, and Jason Lockenfora, remember the name of Sports Boom, reporting that the team is considering moving on from him in 2026.
From Pitts?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, Penix.
Oh, Penix, yeah.
Pitts is actually a few months younger than Penix. And Penix has been in the league for 2 years. Pitts going into year 6. But yeah, you're right. And that's crazy. For Kyle Pitts, he'll be 26 years old in October. So it's still he's on track for really good things and still want to lock him up.
Cousins, I believe, is still on the roster, but is it not expected he's going to be cut at a certain point to avoid, just to make the money as least impactful as possible?
Yeah, I would imagine there'll be something before the league new year,
which is in March 18, spitball area. So I don't know what the official time. When was Penix's last game? I'm seeing November the 9th.
March 11th is the official start of the season. When free agency kicks off. Oh, baby.
November the 16th is what I see as Penix's last game. So 9 months from that would take him to August.
Yeah.
I suppose.
If things are going good.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, with modern science.
With advancements in modern technology and his high level of income.
Yeah. He could be back there in
it's
no
not
time.
Crazy that he could live to be 200-300 years old.
He's got to be so braced up, though. I mean,
what's the mobility looking like?
It's going to be interesting to see. And it was a weird pick when they made it because they just paid Kirk Cousins, but I guess you want depth at the quarterback position. Let's go back to the inbox quickly here. Rainer says, why not power play one Makar? He's the best defenseman in the world, but Bouchard might be better offensively. I think statistically, you could look at it. HVAC Nick says, why wouldn't you have Boosh on PP1? WTF. He literally runs the best PP in the world with Connor. Makar runs the worst. The Makar glazing annoys me. Well, I was just saying you could have him on PP2 if you wanted. I mean, that's pretty good to have those guys go back to back and just have that versatility as well. Like, well, let's change things up. Let's put Bouchard out there. You make a great point. I mean, and you can say that, well, he plays with McDavid and Draisaitl. Well, on Team Canada, you play with McDavid and McKinnon and Celebrini and Reinhard, whoever it might be. So, yeah, I mean, hey, the decision was made. He's going to be there in 2030. Lock it in. AZ. The players that were debatable weren't the reason we lost. So critiquing the roster can only take you so far. I mean, I would listen to the Sam Bennett high stick. Wasn't great. Didn't cost you the game, though. And there should have been a too many men call before that.
Yeah.
Refs, like, I don't know how you defend that one. I guess that was kind of a trend in 2 games for Canada where too many men was optional.
Have as much man out there as you want.
Yeah. Almost run 17 or so. Why not? MTR says, do you guys notice how slow Marchand was yesterday? My God. Well, I noticed it against Finland when he was trying to shake Mikkola, and it was like, this is heavy boots.
It's so we make this joke all the time. You're never wrong. You're just early on takes and stuff. And going back to last year's Four Nation faceoff, right? Marchand was one of the first 6 players named, so he was on the team before the rest of the roster was announced. And at that time last year, I said, why is he on this? Like, he shouldn't be on the team. He doesn't deserve to be. He's only there because they can't take him off at this point. They played pretty well, I thought, in the Four Nations, and then had a great playoff for Florida.
Yeah.
Looked really good. And then to start the season, he's been excellent.
25 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been playing great.
Plus he missed time, right?
And so then fast forward to this year, I say, oh yeah, Marchand's going to be on this team, no doubter. And then we get there and you see him play and you say, oof. I thought he was really unimpactful essentially the whole tournament for the most part. The reports tell us that he came in banged up, at which point I say, if you're hurt, we already saw 2 other players step aside essentially.
Yeah.
And it's once again, it's not like you're trying to replace Brad Marchand with all due respect, Ryan Lomberg. You're replacing him with Mark Scheifele.
Tenacious.
You're replacing him with Mark Scheifele, Connor Bedard, Zach Hyman, any one of these guys, right? And so if he's hurt and that's what was inhibiting him because he did look very slow, so be it. But I have a hard time justifying that because if you were hurt before you even left, why did you go?
Look at Braden Point, right?
It's a tough thing to swallow your pride, especially with Marchand, because this absolutely would be his last kick at the can for an Olympics. I understand that part of it. It's frustrating.
Team Dean says, I went through the roster. Minimum 13 won't be there in 4 years. Was sure great. They brought Sanheim and Jarvis. They really contributed. I thought Jarvis was okay. I mean, I thought Sanheim had some moments. He looked good too.
I thought Sanheim was their best defenseman yesterday in the game.
Even in the semifinal.
His
role.
I can say over the course of the whole tournament, I did at no point say, Travis Sanheim, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I said that about almost every other defenseman. Like, he plays a simple game, and that's what he was brought there to do. Kill penalties, which he did very effectively, and play defensively. Don't make mistakes. He didn't. He's not Makar. He's not Bouchard. He's not any of those guys in terms of moving the puck up ice and contributing offensively, at least not at that level of competition. He was fine. And Jarvis, guess what? They got really close to needing him because of what he brings, which is filling gaps in your lineup. He can play literally anywhere. He's a skill to play in your top line. He has the tenacity and energy to play in your 4th line. It's not a big guy, but he can play center, play either wing. I had very little qualms with either of those 2 guys. Like the original text said, the fringe players aren't really what quote unquote lost you the game, which once again, you lost in overtime 1-1.
And that's what Alex says. Come on, guys. Over 1-1 gold medal game, shots 2-1. Don't change a thing.
That's what I mean. Like the recipe is fine. I don't have a problem with the recipe. It's why I'm pushing back on a lot of the roster criticism, but that doesn't mean we can't have the conversations.
Yeah. And it's not, it's just like, hey, these guys, if hurt, maybe you could have stepped aside. Braden Point did it. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, the biggest points. Like, what a tough conversation that has to be. Like, guys, I can't go. Like, to tell, and especially in a sport like hockey where you hear all the time, I had to play through it, had to gut it out. For Crosby to say, like, guys, I can't do it. I'm the face of this team. Huge player for us. I'm just going to hurt us. I think that would have been a super tough conversation to have for him, and just that internal thought. Northside Lou says, what is next for fans? Blaming Makar for the pinch and McKinnon for misplaying the back check? No, I mean, it has been brought up already on this show.
And it's warranted. Like, that's what led to that goal, right? Goals happen more often than not off of mistakes, minus really impressive individual or couple individual efforts. I would say all three players on the ice misplayed it.
And if it's half a second early, Makar gets there just a second early, like we've said, could be 2-on-0 going there with McDavid.
And it's because, at least watching it, I'm not in their heads, I don't know for sure, but Makar and McDavid, they think McKinnon's getting back to that puck first. And as a result, are turning it back up ice. They want an odd man rush back the other way.
Yeah.
Doesn't come. He gets bumped off. Werenski makes a great play. And I was right, Connor, it was 5-hole.
It was a 5-hole?
Rewinding to yesterday when we were talking about it because we hadn't seen a super clean replay of it yet. Yeah, right through the old wickets.
Through the wickets. And then, I wasn't particularly looking for a replay.
Too sad.
Told some of the people here, when the game ended, we probably sat there for 20, 30 seconds, kind of frustrated. And then I got up like, all right, let's go do the show. And I walked in here. You and Mackenzie were both over there still sitting there still. I'm like, are they coming?
No, I wasn't just hear the door close. I'm in my truck going home. I only agreed to do this if they won.
At one point when we were sitting here, the Kachucks were on the TV, and I think I just turned it off. I don't want to see them right now. Too soon. We're not ready for it. But it was a heck of a tournament and a lot of fun to watch. And that's, it sucks that it has been so long since we got to see it, but good to see it back. And I think the NHL, you saw it with the Four Nation face-off. They're leaning into it a little bit more because they know that's going to create hockey fans. Playing games all around the world is fun, but you want to get the American fan base into it. You do these Canada versus US games. Did Tate McRae celebrate? HVAC Nick?
Hey Gary,
probably.
Is that your
I would
dad?
think so.
No, this is Evan.
I think we're going to get to music in a second here. Bottom line, guys played well during their ice time. The roster talk's a lot of fun, but they lost because the best players didn't produce when it was necessary, and the best U.S. player was the goalie. I would say the best player for both teams was the goalie.
Like, you thought Binnington was Canada's best player? Or just
Hellebuck was the best player in the game.
Oh, in the game, for sure.
He was great, and you got to give him credit for that. And, I don't know if you guys saw the video after. Even the president was a huge fan of the goalie. I don't think he knew his name.
Listen, he was excellent. He made all the saves he had to. So good. So impressive. Can't wait to have him at the White House.
He's going to shake his hand, too. That's what he said. Anywho, we're out of here. Low Tide coming up next. Right now, we'll get to a Sports 1440 update with Country Mac, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Spring training is in full swing with 7 games on deck in the Grapefruit League today, with the Jays and Mets kicking things off right now. Red Sox and Rays at 1:05. Miami meets St. Louis, and in the Cactus League, Diamondbacks play the Guardians at 1:05. Cubs face the Royals, and Rangers and Angels. 3 games in the association. Spurs meet the Pistons at 5. Sacramento is in Memphis, and Jazz takes on the Rockets. NHL gets back on Wednesday, and Jets defenseman Josh Morrissey will miss time as he returns to the Jets. And Stars forward Mikko Rantanen will also miss time with a lower body injury after getting injured in Finland's semifinal on Friday. Next on Sports 1440, the lowdown with Low Tide, Alan Mitchell, Declan Kruger, and Josh